Okay, so this is a video I've been, it's taken me weeks to actually make. This is my reaction to a Siya Kolisi speech that he made a couple of weeks ago. The title of the video says, Siya Kolisi on Black Lives Matter movement. In one of the initial videos that I saw of this, it was a News 24 video clip that said Siya Kolisi joins the Black Lives Matter movement. When I saw that title, I was like, oh no, not my captain, not my captain. Please don't tell me you're joining this movement, captain. Because I have a huge problem. I have a very big problem with the Black Lives Matter movement. This is a movement that burns books, destroys arts, calls for the killing of cops. I mean, I cannot in good conscience put my name behind this movement. Before we get into the video, I want to give you some context upon which I'm approaching and what I think about Siya Kolisi. This man is a real life hero. What he has managed to achieve with his life is amazing. He has managed to reach the pinnacle of his career despite all the bullshit that he had to go through and he was thrown in. He managed to come out on top, a fucking champion. Now, I apologize, I swear a little bit. I believe I'm talking to adults and I'm quite passionate about this. So this man is a hero. I think there should be a movie made about this guy's life. Give Sivingesi a role in that movie. But I think South Africa should make a movie about this dude's life because he's an inspiration to millions of people, millions of young people. And so I think he's the movement. Siya Kolisi is the movement. I don't think he should be joining some movement. No, the people should be joining him. He's the champion. So I got a little bit upset when I saw him. I saw the headline. So I haven't watched the video, so I've been avoiding to watch the video. This is me watching the video. So I cracked open a beer. I got some notes. And let's hear him speak. Captain, take it away, sir.
A lot of people have been asking me why have I been so quiet during the Black Lives Matter movement. And for me, I've just been observing and listening, and seeing what people have been saying. And I've seen a lot of people talking about it in sport, some in general life. And for me, I had to think about it because
I'm gonna keep pausing him and then giving my commentary. That was a great move. Observe what's going on. Listen to what people are saying around this topic, and then formulate your opinion. That's a great move. Great move. First question. Why are we asking rugby players to be activists now? I mean, especially Siya Kolisi. Why? Hasn't the man done enough? I mean, is winning the World Cup not enough? You gotta do more. We gotta get Siya to be Malcolm X now. I think champion has done the champion thing. What more can we ask of this man? Holy fuck. Continue, sir.
And just about sport. Then it's everyday life for me.
Hold on. I gotta address something too. The video itself. Why the fuck? Why the fuck do you have an ISIS wall behind you? Aren't you friends with filmmakers? I mean, couldn't you phone someone up to like frame you right? Like, I mean, look at my framing. I got something interesting going here. You're just in front of a brick wall. But that's all love. This is just incidental. I mean, I don't want you looking like you're in an ISIS video. This is the problem.
For me, I felt that my life didn't matter since I was a little kid. Growing up in the townships. My mentality was all about surviving from the moment I was born, where my grandmother to do it just to keep me motivated each and every day, not to encourage me to strive and be the best in what I wanted to do.
Yes.
Follow my dreams.
Oh yeah, he mentions his grandmother, and I've seen him take a lot of criticism for seemingly throwing his grandmother under the bus. Here's something you need to understand, and I've seen that criticism levied from predominantly white commentators. But here's the thing you don't understand: when you're destitute, poor, the people that care for you, they do not have time for you hooty-faluting pipe dreams, right? You are not going to be the next Elon Musk, so put that shit down. You need to focus on when and what you're going to eat within the next 12 hours. That's your world. So this idea of, oh, you're going to be the next Bill Gates, let's encourage you. No, fuck that bullshit. You need to survive minute by minute. So you need to focus on that. That's the world. So his grandmother was actually trying to teach him how to survive by telling him this, or at least not encouraging the highfalutin. It's tragic, but yo, man, that's what you need to do. If you gotta survive, you gotta fucking survive. There's no time for pipe dreams.
No,
Go ahead,
remember
brother.
growing up, I think I was 8 or 9 years old. I was selling fruit, fruit and veg, so I could get food in my belly. I was making bricks as a kid,
Man,
so I could get food and
Bruh.
get food for my family.
I mean, that's so fucked up. And you know what's messed up about, even more messed up about that? That story is pretty much a story that millions of South Africans can relate to. Having to survive from day one, day zero, no time for rest, get up, get working. Fuck, that robs children of their childhood, and it's fucked up. But you know what? There's a reframing of that. You busting your ass at 8 years old. Chances are you're going to develop a pretty mean ass work ethic. And that work ethic that you develop, that might even take you to the top of the world. Now, this is not to say that it should be something that should be enforced or forced on children. Children should be allowed to have a childhood. You should be pushing bricks. Man, you should be playing fucking video games, man. You should be hanging out. That's what should be happening. But the consequence of you having to bust your ass at 8, that's a mean work ethic. That's a way to reframe it.
When I was 16 years old, I was a bartender, and we always heard this word that we are the future of the country.
Yeah, I heard
those
that
are the
shit
things
too.
that I was doing just to keep myself basically alive and to survive. You know, and like just the school where I went to school, there's a struggle. Like we didn't have fields, we didn't have the right equipment, you know, and when I had my opportunity to go to Grey, then just the way I saw life was just different.
Boom! I can relate to that so hard, my guy. I also went to Grey. I went to Grey in 96. Played in the same fields he played at. Coached by the same teachers he was coached with. And I can tell you right now, when I first arrived there in 96, it wasn't easy. It was a different culture. It was a different pace of how things were done. But man, when I walked through those halls that first week, I'm looking at all these pictures of all these great white men from the past. And I'm walking the halls and I realize I'm in here. They have no idea who the fuck they just let in here. I'm going to be out working, out pacing, out performing everyone here, because I realize this is an opportunity for me to really transcend the bullshit that I might have been coming from. Now, that's not easy. That's not, you get hit with a heavy imposter syndrome. Now, imposter syndrome is the feeling that you don't belong in this new environment or this new thing that you're doing. That hits you hard. Like, oh shit, I gotta learn a new language. I gotta learn a new way of thinking. I gotta learn a new way of going about conducting myself. Everything is new. But god damn, your world expands like that. Especially when you come from a background where you are limited. And you step into an environment that is open like that, whoo! Your mind just opens. The possibilities widen up, and it's a beautiful thing.
And it was only 15 minutes away, you know, from like...
Yes, one thing to add on that. This should be something that we grant all children. All children should feel like that way. When they step into the world that we build, they should feel as though their world just opens up and their possibilities are endless. That's what we should be working towards, affording all the children of South Africa. And I agree with that.
My township to Grey, with the infrastructure, the facilities. And I was an A student in the township. Then when I went to Grey, I had to adapt to a whole
Oh
new
shit!
culture.
Yeah. Those schools like Grey High School, all of these kinds of schools are very competitive. You got to really bust your ass to get good, because everyone is busting their ass to get good. So yeah.
I had to learn how to speak English.
Yeah.
And I felt so stupid because I was failing because I didn't understand the language, but it made me feel now maybe I wasn't.
Yeah, you're gonna feel some type of way. You're gonna feel inadequate. There's strong feelings of inadequacy. There's strong feelings of I'm out of place. I'm out of my depth. But guess what? If you transcend that shit, you become the baddest motherfucker, and you might actually raise to be on top of your game, like the best. You have the potential of being the best if you transcend that shit. If you find a way to bust through that initial fucking toughness, woo, you become unstoppable. Wow.
I wasn't smart enough.
I'm getting jazzed up. I love this guy.
English, and then I had to adapt to this culture, and I had to conform to the culture to feel accepted and welcomed, you know. And only one.
No, I don't know why you use the word conform. In my recollection of my experience around Grey High School, it was adapting. It wasn't conforming. It was adapting. It was acquiring new skills, acquiring new abilities. I mean, that's important. That's important. It's not a negative. I don't know if he's phrasing it as a negative. I don't think it's a negative. That's important. You need to know how to act. You need to know how to behave. If you're going to be a CEO one day, my man, there's a certain way you need to conduct yourself. There are certain things you kind of just need to fucking learn. And this shit should be afforded to all children. Let's go.
Two people wanted to understand a little bit more about my culture. That's why I met my friend Nicholas, who had to teach me English each and every single day. He had to help me with my homework each and every single day.
Oh yeah, I can relate to that too. My brother. The friends that I made during that tough time of trying to fit in, trying to adapt, they are still friends with me now. I am still close homies with those guys. Those are my brothers. I mean, that's a beautiful thing, and you can only wish for young people to make those kind of friendships, because those are lifelong friendships. I can count on them now, and this is like 20, 40 years later. It's a beautiful thing.
And he came to my township, one of the only people that came with me to my township. And when I was there, I lived there, and I understood why the boys didn't know what it was like.
Yeah. That was another thing that dawned on me when I was started off in Grey High School. I just realized I had just come out of my bubble, and I'd stepped into someone else's bubble. I was in someone else's bubble. So when I was observing them, they weren't aware. They couldn't be. They didn't care. They didn't give a fuck. It's not out of malice. It's not out of that they didn't care. There were some who did care, and guess what? Those guys who did care, they're my friends. The guys who didn't care, I don't know who they are. Don't care, really. So, I can relate to that.
They never thought about it because you have everything that you need each and every single day. Mm-hmm. You have 6 meals a day, where in the township I might not even have 1 meal a day. And you just live in this bubble, in this world. That's why I encourage people. They need to step out of their comfort zone and go more.
100%, bro. If that's what you're about, I am on board, Siya. I want to be part of that movement. If that's what you want, I'm there. Have you noticed? I still don't hear the reason why he had to join this Black Lives Matter movement. Why? I mean, all of these things that you have done, I mean, you didn't need them before. Like, why now? Come on, man.
I don't understand why people are struggling, why people are saying their life don't matter. Like I was saying, I didn't feel like I mattered. I moved on from there. I thought, okay, cool. Now I'm going to the rugby world.
I'm not going to let that one skip. You didn't feel like your life mattered. That sounds like a self-esteem thing. The reason I say that is because I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with that feeling of inadequacy, where you feel like, oh shit, chips are down, nobody's looking out for me. But you know how you reframe that? You know the kind of message you tell young men and women? You tell them, hey man, self-esteem, emphasis on self. You do not need someone outside of you to give you value. Your grandmother sees value in you. Your coach sees value in you. Your friend who went with you to the township sees value in you. Why do you want to seek value from someone who does not give a fuck about you? See, this is where I kind of slightly disagree with you there, Brother Siya. You are a champion. Now you are a champion. You were a champion then.
I'm leaving.
You don't need anybody else outside of
start the life differently and be
people that care about you to see value in you, man.
You know, and just start a whole new life for my family. Get there, then to get there, I also had to like conform to a whole new culture.
Once again, use the words conform. It's adaptation. You kind of have to adapt. That's what a super slick mover does. You are very savvy. You can adapt. You can stick and move. You can stick and move. That's a fantastic skill to have in life, because life is gonna throw you a whole bunch of shit. If you can't stick and move, stick and move. Oh, how you like my technique? Stick and move. You're gonna get caught with the left hook. So yeah.
To learn a whole new language, you know. You know, when I first got into the Springbok environment, you know, everything was done in Afrikaans, and I couldn't speak Afrikaans at all. The calls were in Afrikaans, so it affected. I couldn't. I had to translate from English, from Afrikaans to English, from English to Xhosa, and it was really hard. So I always.
That's a tough one. Holy shit, that can't be easy. But then once again, I come back to it again. You are presented, life presents you a difficulty, a challenge. Learn Afrikaans. What happens when you learn Afrikaans? You become a badass. Now you have 2 languages under your belt. Nobody can speak behind your back. You might be a champion one day. You kind of have to reframe tough situations in life. You have to reframe tough situations, because life is not easy. Like, life is not going to be a bed of roses. And putting that message out there to children and kids who need to know that life can get tough. You just need to get tough yourself. If it's required of you to learn a new language in order for you to excel at your job, guess what? You're learning a new language. It's not oppression.
Reacted late, and I felt stupid and embarrassed, and like my culture wasn't there. You know, we're representing South Africa.
Imposter syndrome. You're gonna feel inadequate. Feelings of inadequacy. I do agree with you, brother. On the culture. The culture had to change. The rugby culture had to change. If rugby is to survive in South Africa, it had to change. And you are a result of that change, sir. You are a fantastic result, a testament. You are a testament. I'm using big words, baby. Go ahead.
But didn't feel like I was valued enough. I just had to be grateful to be there, and that's why I never complained about the calls. I didn't say, you know what, I'll just wait and wait on my friends.
This is why I admire this man. This guy got into a fucked up situation, put his head down, outworked everyone, transcended the fucked up situation. Right there, he said it. I put my head down and I did my work. Look at that. And look at how you turned out.
Explain to me the cause. And yeah, it's been difficult. And because when having those conversations, and I didn't feel like I could have that conversation and say, listen here, can we do it different because I don't understand.
100%. I agree with him on that one also. You got to be able to have those tough conversations. Let me go back this way and say, what the fuck is going on? If your star player does not understand the calls you're making, maybe your culture needs to change. If the best players in your team do not get what the fuck you're saying, coach, maybe you need to change some shit. Huh? Siya, I get you.
Until now, where Coach Rasi came to, in 2018, and he addressed it from the first go, that we need to transform as a team. And we need to transform not only...
And look what happened 2 seasons later. We need to transform as a team. He came in, changed everything, and look what happened. Top of the world. Yes.
By having people of color in the team, the environment itself, and we have to transform from inside that people must feel valued. Every culture must be represented in South Africa.
Word.
You know, we're a unique country where apartheid was in South Africa, so things have to change if we're done differently, whether
Agreed.
we like it or not. Transformation.
I'm loving that duck in the background. the duck is agreeing with you, brother.
All of this while we are winning. And that conversation actually changed the game.
What location is this? Does ISIS have ducks?
We felt like we could do them, we could sing, we could be, you know, after the first game was announced as captain. And that was also something huge. Because
what a beautiful, what a beautiful moment. When he was announced as captain. Oof. Yes.
Good now, okay, cool, these things are happening. He can do it now, we can also do
Exactly. Exactly. Now tell me, oh my God. This is my point exactly. What you managed to achieve is an example for young people all across South Africa to look at. Tell me again why you need Black Lives Matter for that. Why do you need Black Lives Matter for that? All you gotta do is get on Twitter and go, hey man, this is what's up. I will follow you. Millions of these kids will follow you. You do not need to sign up to some fucking movement, my brother. No, you are the movement, sir. You are the captain. You lead. I want to follow you, sir.
And then, you know, and then we had this conversation, and then we could feel as a team that, you know what, we can do this. And then we had the campaign that was criticized a lot stronger together. You know, I think that's a great campaign because for us as a team, it showed because we did work together and we did try to understand each other and focus on a common goal that we had.
Exactly. You know, I don't think there's much I disagree with. Exactly. That's the point.
And we all fought for one thing. And I think stronger together we used to have to look at it as well. What does it actually mean?
Word.
And
dissect that shit. Analyze that
and
shit.
We understand that if my suffering and my pain doesn't affect you, then we're actually not stronger together.
That's
Until
true.
that
Facts.
comes in.
Facts. I'm on 100% behind that. Why do we need the Black Lives Matter movement for that?
And then you understand my suffering and that plays an effect on you. And when we're marching, we have people of different races marching with us because we don't feel like our life.
We done been marching. Even before Black Lives Matter movement was a thing. Why do we need Black Lives Matter for that?
Matter. And until our lives matter, no lives matter.
Oof. Until our lives matter, no lives matter. See, this is where I vehemently disagree with you, brother. Those sound like fighting words. Those are not unification words. If we have to have a conversation, and you're starting the conversation with, yo, if my shit don't count, then nobody's shit counts. That's not a conversation. That's the beginning of a battle. Look, we have different ways to approach this, man. And I think I think right there, man, I think that's where you drift. That's where you lose a lot of people. Now, I understand the sentiment. I understand where you're coming from with it. But just listen to yourself real quick. If our lives don't matter, then no one's life matters. That's a little combative, don't you think? I think it's far more effective to change minds, because you're trying to change minds here. You're trying to change mindsets. You don't change mindsets through intimidation. You reinforce fucked up mindsets through intimidation. You gotta, if you want to truly have a conversation, an open conversation on a difficult topic, you gotta have more finesse. And you have demonstrated this finesse. I don't think you need the Black Lives Matter movement for that, my brother. Capitan.
We're all important. Black lives actually matter.
Yep.
Facts. When we're in the township, I wish that I felt like it really didn't feel like it mattered at all. So I encourage people to have the difficult conversation there in a work environment. The leaders to be sitting, or politicians to be sitting and having this conversation within their own party.
100.
And say, listen here, these are the conversations we must have. The uncomfortable, but they have to be had. Then we're stepping in the right directions. And for me as well, I felt as a leader, I've been in a position of leadership for a very long time in my sport, and I didn't address it because I was scared that I was going to get kicked out or I was going to be seen differently.
That's an indictment on the institutions that you were in, where star player can't speak his mind. That's an indictment. That needs to change. That has got to go. Come on now. So whatever needs to happen for the institutions to wriggle the shit out of that rubbish, dump that rubbish, that needs to happen. Because otherwise, I mean, imagine how many Siya Kolisis have been discouraged because of that bullshit. How many fucking world champions have we discouraged from bullshit institutions? Come on now, preach. But I don't think you need the Black Lives Matter movement for that neither. Come on.
Not doing what's supposed to be done. Time to be scared and to be silent there's no time for that.
It's over. I agree.
Start addressing these issues, because if I don't address it, then the next kid that's coming through, he's gonna suffer the same way as I did. But luckily, now this movement is happening. People are standing up, and I won't keep quiet with every single thing.
Oh, please do not keep quiet. Do not keep quiet. Do not keep quiet, Siya. But you don't need the Black Lives Matter movement to speak up, my brother.
Place in every, it doesn't matter, because the next generation can't suffer like we did. Or we might as well just give this place of leadership, or the platform that we have, give it away, because we're not using it for what it's supposed to be used. It's time for us, all of us, to change and actually start living like the South Africa that so many people have fought for, so many people have died for. We should be the generation that's changing this. It's 2020 right now. So many people have suffered to make this country a better place.
Hell yeah.
It's time for all of us to come together.
Hell yeah.
It's the only way we can fight this. It's the only way we can beat this. A lot of people.
That's why I want to join the Siya Kolisi movement. Fuck that bullshit. I want to join your movement. So if you start something tomorrow, I'm signing up. All grade to all grade. I'm signing up. You know what? You are a champion. You are a motherfucking champion. You are a king, a man amongst men. And I'm a patriot. I'm behind you. Sir, you don't need the Black Lives Matter movement. South Africa needs you. They need you. Keep doing what you're doing. Just simply, all you got to do is just exist. Your entire life story is a testament to what determination, hard work, perseverance can do to you, can do for you, and do for others. You are an inspiration. You do not need to be signing up for some fucked up clubs, brother. You are a movement on your own. Sir, I salute you. You're a badass. You're a badass motherfucker. I'm gonna drink to that. Cheers, Kolisi.